let's get right into what the best exercises are and how to play them and why I think they're important. First thing here, arpeggios. If you don't know what an arpeggio is, it really is just a broken chord. It's a rolled chord. I'm going to show you a very beginner's arpeggio first. What we're going to do is take a C major chord, and we're going to roll that chord up from C up to this C, playing the notes of that C major chord. And while you're doing this, we're calling this a rolled chord. So one of the things important to remember is to roll the arm up and down here. Now, when I say that, I don't mean we're going to be doing this kind of number. You see what my arm is doing here? It's a simple roll. Look, my arm is even rolling in a circle here, just like I did in some of the other exercises I've shown. This is just the one octave version of it. Try this with me if you're a beginner. I'm going to show a 2-octave version in just a little bit. So I'm going to go kind of slow. Ready, go. If you want to make this a little more interesting, we could add some different chords to this, which I will show at the end. I'm going to start though by just showing the basic simple stuff. Now, left hand, it's doing the same thing, but it's going to roll kind of the other direction. Just the arm is going to do this while the right arm does this. It's going to be right arm is going in counterclockwise motion. Left arm is going in a clockwise motion. You may have heard me say this before. And you notice something about my fingers. They don't stay on the keys. Meaning, when I'm playing this chord and playing an arpeggiated version of this chord, I'm not just going to lock my fingers into place and do this. This is just going to cause wrist tension. Move your hand, and if you're thinking, but how am I going to remember where my fingers are? Keep doing it. Repetition is the key to remembering where things are. And if you can, at some point, try to do this without even looking at your hands. I bet you can do this without looking. When I say at your hands, I mean the keyboard. You don't really need to look down there to know where your fingers are. Now do it with both hands. Same thing. Now, if that's a little too fast for you, that's okay. Take it slow. Now, 2 octaves. How are we going to do this? We're not going to do a cross-hand arpeggio. I've shown you that version before. We're going to do 1 octave, but we're going to take this kind of slow. I'll start on middle C. So there's going to be a key element of the exercise here that we're going to need to practice over and over again to get good at it. Why is this important? There are a lot of songs that do require you to play arpeggiated chords. So let me show you in slow motion what's happening. All right, one thing to remember is just like with scales, we don't need to do any excessive arm and wrist movement. You don't need to make a smooth connection here. Even if your thumb could reach, that's kind of a big reach there. My thumb's doing this to get there. You don't have to. You can let go of that G and then keep going. Now when you get back to the C here, you're just kind of throwing your hand down to that G. We're going to stop here, let go, move to the G, and keep going. So the key exercise here is to just get to that first C. We're going to do this slowly. Let me show you once. And when you get to this C, get the hand over here. We don't want to have the hand in this position at that point. It needs to get over here. Do that with me. Ready, go. Just get it there. Do this a few times with me. Now, as you get better at this, speed it up. One thing you could do that may help is feel like you're really going to that note. You want to make this the important part of this exercise. Accent it, put a little emphasis on it. Make it a longer note just to kind of feel yourself getting there. Just for now. Then as you start to keep going, you can do the same thing on even the top note, but this will help you to get there. On the way down, same exercise, but we're going to do all 4 notes and throw your 3rd finger at that G. Do that with me. And as you get better, go faster. Pretend like that note's important. Now, of course, when you're playing a full set of arpeggios in any octaves, we don't necessarily want to overemphasize any of these notes. This is just helping you to memorize where the hand is going. This is helping your muscle memory. With the left hand, same idea, except on the way up, we're going to stop here. And we're going to stop here on finger 4 or ring finger. Try that with me. Let's do that a couple times. Now you may find this is easier than the right hand, even if you're right-handed. That is because of the closeness of these 2 notes. It's a little bit easier to reach. And then try the whole thing all the way up. On the way down, we're going to stop on this C here, like that. And we're going to give it a little bit of an emphasis. Try that with me. Just like with the right hand, remember to get the other fingers over here because they've got to play these notes eventually. One more time. Now play the whole thing. When you go to both hands, just make sure you feel really comfortable with each hand by itself first, and then. And if you want to do more than 1 octave, you can do as many as you want. I suggest going up to 3 or 4 octaves when you start to get better at this. And the more you practice it, the easier this will become. So back to what I said at the beginning, I was going to show you a kind of simple chord progression that you could do. We could do is start with this C chord. Let's make it a little more interesting. I don't know, this sounds kind of like a cool sounding chord. There is a way of doing this without the A. You can leave the A out, but just wanted to add the extra finger in there. So we're going to do with just one hand is we're going to play a 1 octave arpeggio here. Play this 4 times. Then we're going to play a minor version of this chord, which means we're going to change E to E flat, which is kind of a cool sound. Then we're going to go to the diminished 7th chord, which you can skip, by the way. We're going to move G down to G flat. And then we're going to go to an A flat 7 chord, which means just move the A down to A flat. This is where the A flat does come in. You could leave the A off until you get here, and you do need to play the A flat. And then you can move up a half step and play the same exercise starting on D. I'll show you it in D flat with without the 6th. See, it just moves straight up into that next one. The left hand can do the exact same thing. Now, one thing I will say that this is a little harder to play because of the stretches in the fingers here, but it can be still kind of fun to play. The The idea for this progression comes from a lot of old exercise books that have been around since before pretty much everybody was born. So this is not a new thing. If you've seen me do this before, or seen other teachers or pianists show this progression before, it's nothing new. It's been around for a while. It's just kind of a really fun one to play because it sounds kind of cool. If you have any questions about how to play arpeggios or how to play anything at the piano, please let me know in the comments. And please subscribe. That's the only way you're going to get any updates on future videos that I make, especially if you ask me to create a video. You got to subscribe so that you'll see them. Thanks, and see you next time.